right, chat, we're going to pull this video up. No, I've not watched this. I only saw like the infographic. This is the preview / roadmap, I think, for this game for this year. I have not watched this. I have a slight idea of what it is, but we'll see. This is a long video, chat, so strap in. Might pause in between, talk about it a little bit. We'll see what's going on. Let's check it out.
Hello, and welcome to the Sea of Thieves 2022 preview event, where we're going to give you a first look at some of the new and exciting things coming to Sea of Thieves this year. We're going to be hearing from some of the members of the team here at Rare as they take you through our ambitious new plans for telling stories within the Sea of Thieves and how we plan to make the seas feel more alive than ever. So stick around as we plot out the epic voyages ahead and delve deep into what's in store for Sea of Thieves in 2022.
Hello everyone. It's incredible to say that Sea of Thieves is bigger than ever. We've had over 25 million players play the game, and we recently announced that over 5 million players have purchased the game on Steam.
Can the game go backwards? Can you go backwards? It's bigger than ever. So like, they have 25 million have played. Can that number be less? Technically the truth.
We started with the launch of Seasons back in January, which seems like such a long time ago now, and then went through to June where we revealed a pirate's life and released that into our world. And it was such a great moment for us as a development team to keep it secret, to keep it a real surprise, to be able to introduce those characters and those stories into our world, and for it to just be so seamless and such a magical moment.
We added new creatures and enemies for you to encounter in the Sea of Thieves world, like the Phantoms, these new characters that have crossed over from the spectral realm of the Sea of the Damned, crustacean-like ocean crawlers, each with new abilities, and of course, the shadowy sirens from the underwater world of the Sunken Kingdom. And players got to experience the Sunken Kingdom for themselves, diving down deep below the waves, exploring these mysterious siren shrines, each with their own look, identity, and mysteries to unravel.
And then with Season 5...
All right, so really quick. Jack Sparrow stuff was really cool. I really liked it. Super cool collaboration that they did with Disney. I think that was really great for the game. Probably got a lot of people in there. It was good stuff. It was good stuff. The temples looked awesome. I think the idea of the temples were awesome. Not really repeatable content. There was not really like player interaction content there. So I thought they were badass. I wish they were a little more like focused on like players like kind of interacting a little bit, but I don't know. I personally don't know. Like, I don't really see people ever doing those. I do think they were badass though. Like, whoever designed them, that was fantastic. And everyone wanted underwater content. I feel like it was just too much. I feel like they should have had like one sunken temple. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, and people bump into each other. So that's my 2 cents. We'll keep going.
We had our Tools Not Rules update where we introduced so many different mechanics that have just really kind of enriched the whole sandbox, and we've seen so many great stories from all of our players with everything that we introduced with that. You know, what that means is really that Sea of Thieves has never been in a better place, and we think there's a real opportunity to do things differently as we move forward.
All right.
Seasons have been an incredible framework for us in which to add new experiences and content to Sea of Thieves. And alongside that, we've been running numerous live events throughout the year. With all that said, we still feel like there's something missing. We want to make the Sea of Thieves world feel like a richer, more dynamic place where every time you play, there's always something new to discover and new adventures to embark upon. So we're going to be evolving and expanding how we update the game. So alongside Seasons, as they are now, we're introducing 2 new ways that we'll be updating the game: Adventures and Mysteries. So firstly, Adventures are story-driven live events, and these are released on a regular basis of 1 per month, typically lasting around 2 weeks. Crucially, Adventures are a chapter in an overarching story that's unfolding within Sea of Thieves.
Adventures will be more cinematic, and it will be a chance for players to immerse themselves in the world and the story of Sea of Thieves more, and have more of an emotional attachment to the characters in Sea of Thieves.
We want to appeal to players' hearts, get them to care about these places, get them to care about these characters.
Okay, so they're doing basically like once a month doing like an adventure. Okay, so I think that's a good idea in that sense. Kind of how the seasons are structured right now. It's like you can do it all in like a day. It's like you could get through a season in like a couple days if you play this game pretty hardcore. I feel like their idea right now is trying to get you to revisit the season every so often and almost have a little fear of missing out, to be honest. So it's like, oh, this adventure's coming up, right? So like there's an adventure coming out, but it's gone forever. So it's like, oh, I better get back in. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be making you basically come back if you want to see the whole story. Yeah, so they're doing a little fear of missing out maybe, but we'll see. Let's keep going.
Because when they are put in situations of trouble, players will feel compelled.
That's a new character already. That's like a Reaper's ghost or something.
You'll want to help out, you'll want to save
That was a
them.
different
We want
Phantom.
to make players feel like they're part of this story, basically. It's happening to the existing world, which has been really good from an environment point of view, because we're touching areas that haven't been touched in a long time. Things are changing and things are happening within the world. It kind of makes it feel alive.
Part of the way that we'll be telling this story is through ongoing cinematic lore trailers, the first of which you'll see later in this preview event. Each season also features a special adventure, a finale, that brings several story elements to a thrilling conclusion before the story then moves on in a new direction. And crucially, in key adventures, the community were responsible for the outcome of that story. Based on their actions and the choice they side with, the outcome of that story will be changed, and the world will change forever, and that will become part of the ongoing storyline for Sea of Thieves. This is very much about players being at the heart of our ongoing storytelling in Sea of Thieves.
Okay, so if they actually pull that off, that sounds pretty cool. I think that's kind of a cool idea. Because my issue was going to be, are they going to run out of steam constantly making like new adventures or whatever? Because it's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of work to do that. To be like, oh, we got another adventure to pump out, or we got to move the NPCs, or we got to voice them. You know what I'm saying? If they're doing something like community based, kind of like a choose your own adventure style thing, that could be pretty cool. Depending on if they actually give you like some decent options and it's not just basically some minor change, like it's the same thing but it's a different NPC giving you the thing. You know what I'm saying? We'll have to see what that is. Like, it's a cool concept. It's a cool concept. See.
And being responsible for moving the world forwards.
So mysteries are also something that we're super excited about. So these are going to be stories that players are going to have to work together to uncover. And this will happen kind of in-game and out of game in terms of clues being released, and that they will evolve kind of over a longer time period than a typical adventure will, because we're going to be kind of, you know, teasing and hinting and looking at how people are solving this. Are people figuring this stuff out? When's the right time to move this forward? But based on players really uncovering the kind of next stages of these mysteries. We've already seen little bits of this with some of the little stuff we've done in the past, like the runes and things, but this is going to be taking that to another level entirely.
We've been looking at other media, we've been looking at films, we've been looking at episodic TV, we've been looking at books and how they can tell compelling mysteries over time. And we've really been inspired by those. And we see certain genres fitting really well in terms of mystery telling. So you've got murder mysteries, whodunits, ghost stories. Certainly take inspiration from those kind of mysteries in other media.
I can't say too much about the stories we're going to expect from mysteries, but I will say this. The first mystery is going to be involving players solving the murder of a well-known character in Sea of Thieves, so it's really exciting.
We've heard the feedback about our previous.
Can't you not die in the Sea of Thieves, though? I thought you couldn't die. Unless that's part of the mystery. Someone figured it out.
live events, and for us this is about making them a key part of the ongoing Sea of Thieves story. The best way to think about it is that seasons and the content within is now going to be explained by part of this story. The adventures and the mystery collectively form the ongoing Sea of Thieves storyline, with players at the heart of that unfolding narrative.
Alright, what we got here?
Seasons run every 3 months roughly, and they introduce new mechanics, progression, new rewards, new Pirate Emporium, new Plunder Pass, and the Emissary Ledgers are reset. So Season 6, which kicks off in March, introduces a new mini-raid experience, which is introduced by the way of sea forts.
There'll be 6 sea forts around the Sea of Thieves, and in the sea forts, players will be able to battle phantoms and sea fort captains in order to unlock the treasury and all the rewards inside.
Alright, so real quick, I'll let this keep going. I don't know, I will let this keep going before I say anything, but like, I already am saying, why are there 6 of them? And why are there not like 1 or 2? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the same thing with the temples. Like, they might do more of it might be more, but like, so the temples, there were so many that it spread everybody out. Why is there not like a lower amount of these? I'll keep watching.
Unlike the forts that already exist in the game, which are there to bring multiple crews together, sea forts are there to provide a more personal experience.
Well, there you go.
So if you're playing by yourself or if you're playing with your crew and you can see a sea fort active, you're not necessarily going to shy away from it. You know, as a challenge, it will be pitched towards you.
So is the idea they don't want to like, is the idea they don't want to scare people away from like, oh, it's notified on the map, right? They want to make it so it's like you see it and you're just going to do it.
So these forts are brought through from memories from Sea of the Damned. So it's going to be really nice to see that again, because it's a big breakaway from what you're used to in Sea of Thieves, where everything's a bit more ramshackled and wooden and brought about from shipwrecks and such.
And there's 3 different types that we'll see in different seas. So in the wilds, there's prison-themed forts. These ones kind of are really gloomy and they have a lot of kind of chains and cages. That's been really cool from a storytelling point of view.
They don't look very big.
Really overgrown, abandoned forts. They've just been reclaimed by nature, basically. So they're completely overgrown, they're crumbling, and they've been ransacked. And then we've got the more kind of standard Spanish forts that you would expect to see directly from the Sea of the Damned.
When we're making these forts, we have to make good considerations into the playable space. We want it to look really well decorated, yet at the same time be functional as a playable area. So we've got lots of open space. There's quite a few choke points as well, so players can use that to their advantage and, you know, stack up those phantoms and really, you know, make use of your local environment to have the upper edge.
You look sweet. They look sweet.
And then we'll use more kind of detail and concentrate the dressing in between these areas, which is kind of like a breadcrumbing technique to bring players from one area to the next, which means that they don't get lost easily. It still keeps the environment interesting while ensuring that they can still navigate properly and fight.
Ultimately, the reason why these sea forts, these naval stone sea forts, have found their way from the Sea of the Damned into the Sea of Thieves will be explained as part of our overarching story that's going to unfold throughout the rest of the year.
You know what those look like to me, chat? Those look like the precursor or maybe the test subject of like your own player housing or like your own instance or something. Does that make sense? I feel like you could like, I feel like they could do that with those. Like in your own
We're also
instance.
going to be introducing new Pirate Legend voyages, which are replayable, that will be different every time. They have a mix of challenges in there, so players can replay them as often as they like, and it will be something fresh and exciting each time.
Whether that's using new maps to uncover treasures, diving into the depths to explore shipwreck graveyards, or exploring onto haunted islands. Again, this is a big element of the ongoing grand story that we're going to be telling throughout 2022, with Pirate Legends being responsible for this part of the story.
I think the big thing about adventures and mysteries coming into the game is being able to, at regular cadence, push the story forward. pushing characters and their storylines, their narrative forward, pushing the state of the world forward based on where the story is going, based on what players are doing within the story to push that narrative forward. It should help to make the world feel far more dynamic.
But alongside all of these amazing things that we're going to be introducing to the Sea of Thieves, we also know that there are questions, there is feedback that we have around certain areas of the existing game. Hit registration, which we know is an ongoing kind of question and concern, spawn camping or the solo experience, or even kind of lost data and lost progress when we have moments of issues with our live service. And so we're going to be doing a Sea of Thieves podcast specifically to talk about the kind of main hot topics that are ongoing as part of the Sea of Thieves community. So that's going to be coming up fairly soon. I think we'll have a date hopefully running across the screen right now. But we really want to take the time to talk about that in depth.
February 11th.
And at length.
So with our ambitious plans for the future, we are as committed as ever to make Adventure the best experience it can possibly be. The goal with all of this is to make the Sea of Thieves feel like an ever-evolving, dynamic place.
I'm going to stop it
where
on
there's
this.
always secrets to discover, new experiences to have, and new adventures to.
So basically, you've got 4 seasons here. New ways to play and progress. I don't know if they're going to talk about that. Obviously, a pretty blanket statement. Expanded role-play and quest types. Could be cool. Not sure how that's going to work with 5 ships. They're going to need more players. They want to do that effectively. I don't know if that's their goal, but could be cool. New social options for crews. That maybe sounds like tavern games? Question mark. Like tavern stuff? I don't know. I'm just speculating, but let's see.
To embark upon. We're so excited and we're more ambitious than ever for our plans throughout this year and beyond for Adventure.
Oh, season 9 could be player housing. That could be a good call.
So in order to make the adventure mode as magical as it can be, we've had to reassess where we're going to be spending our time as we look forward.
Part of that is redirecting our development efforts from elsewhere to ensuring that we're making the improvements that matter to Adventure. So as a result of this, and with our plans in mind for the future, we've made the difficult decision to close Arena in Sea of Thieves, and it will be closing during Season 6.
It's pretty clear to us that majority of our players love to spend their time in Adventure, and that comes across in the kind of data and the time spent in Arena itself. It's about 2% of our overall playtime is spent in Arena, with the rest being spent in Adventure. So ultimately, it's pretty clear to us where the majority of our community, the majority of our players want us to spend our development time. And that is continuing to enrich the world of Adventure, continuing to deliver amazing stories and moments and mechanics to our ever-growing community.
We'd like to take this opportunity to thank our incredibly passionate Arena community for showcasing that part of Sea of Thieves, and we thank you for all your support on the journey so far. You'll be able to read more about this on our website, but let me just say again, this has been an incredibly difficult decision for us to make, but it's all about making Sea of Thieves the best experience it can possibly be, and that we're directing all of our efforts towards making the game as unique and special as possible.
Okay, so that's a pretty big one. That's a pretty big one, obviously. So here's the thing. I played a ton of Arena early, and we did very well. We did very well in Arena, chat. We did very, very well in Arena. Obviously, not only just like streaming the regular mode, but obviously, me and several different teams. I play with different people every time. But we won all our Arena tournaments, all the official Arena tournaments we won. I had a ton of fun in Arena. There were some issues with Arena, though. Like, the tournaments were especially fun just because everyone was actually coordinated and trying. You didn't get that a lot in Arena. Like, at least not after, like, the first couple months when it was out. Like, most of the people just kind of basically... they just didn't know what they were doing. I mean, they're already taking it out, so I'm kind of just saying my piece about the game mode. I feel like they should have just that game mode should have just at least tried a BR, in my opinion. Just make it at least make it so you don't. There was way too much thinking involved. Point farming, keeping track of too much stuff. Like the average crews that were willing to try it had no idea what they were doing. Like, how many people were jumping into Arena being like, we need to take over a boat and farm them with cannons. Like, only the super tryhards like us were like metagaming and like trying to like do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I get what they were trying to do as far as like give the whole Sea of Thieves experience in Arena, which, sounded good conceptually, but they should have just let that be a PvP mode and you just sink people and they're gone. It would have been so much easier to like let people process that rather than trying to come up with all these like strategies and like, see what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. So I don't know. So it's just, yeah. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like there could have been something done there. Obviously, a lot of people that play this game, they're not. So you gotta remember, and there's probably some PDMers in here or some arena players, some hardcore arena players or whatever. But like, you got to understand the majority of people that play this game they're such casual players that the arena would just turn them off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's actually kind of nuts to me. It's actually way more of casual players than I thought it was going to be, especially after like playing arena for a long time. Like, I was actually surprised how many people like just literally log into this game and don't even like do much. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of a weird thing to me. I'm not trying to say that's like a bad thing. I was surprised. I was very surprised. So it's kind of, you'd run into the occasional like really good squads in arena, but once you just had like, I'm just throwing a random number out there. How many like god tier crews actually are there in the game? Probably like 10. You know what I'm saying? That actually, that were just absolutely dunking people in arena. So just like overall, it's like, why would they play? It's like, why would they play when they're just getting absolutely annihilated? Right? Like I get it. So it's not even like, there's nothing that can be done about it. It's just that there's so few crews in this game that are so unstoppable that it made it weird. You would have to have so many people playing to push the good players into random games rather than seeing them every game. Does that make sense? The only problem with skill-based matchmaking is you run into, how do you decide that the 10 god tier teams are just playing each other the whole time in a point-based mode rather than like a BR mode, right? Because I'm not trying to play against, trust me, chat, I played a lot of arena games with like sweaty crews that you're just trying to metagame the point farming. It's not fun. It wasn't fun. Or like I'd get locked into a battle. Me and my boys would get locked into a battle with like a really good team. Nobody's sinking. We're battling it out. And then you got freaking Crap Lord Jimmy took over some other ship on the other side of the map and they're point farming them. You know what I'm saying? It's like the whole thing was just, the whole thing was just weird. Like if you could have had a game mode where it was like, it's just the last ship standing, I can fight it out with a sick crew, a good crew, say our GGs, they sink, I still have time to go win. You know what I'm saying? Because it even felt bad. Like chat, listen, there's a lot of you that may be new here. Even when I played Arena, with how RNG Arena was, we still won 98 out of 100 matches. Legitimately. 95 to 98 out of every 100 that we played. I had hundreds of wins, me and whoever I played with. So it's like we even won with the RNG, but it felt bad to lose when we barely ever, and I say lose like we got like second or like third. It felt bad to lose because we were fighting somebody good and someone else was like point grinding. And that made me not want to play it. So I was like, we're the best team in here. We just got it. We had our time diverted because another really good crew, we're just slugging it out. Right? We're just slugging it out. And then other people like just get points. And I was like, that doesn't feel good. Right? It doesn't feel good. So I did have a ton of fun in Arena. I had a ton of fun. I get that there's still like an Arena community, but let me ask you this. And I'll get to kind of more about this later. How much money does the Arena community make for Rare? Like, if they're like, man, this Arena community, they're really making us a ton of cash. Let's keep the servers open. So why do they care? You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at it from that standpoint. I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of a company. So it's like you got to keep servers on. You got to fix problems. You got people complaining and reporting. So I'm not saying it's like good or bad. Like I'm indifferent about it. And to me too, like as a streamer, I really couldn't play it because even if I was the best crew in the match, even if I was on the best crew in the match, once people were like, "Oh, it's pace," 4 boats are just beelining and just blasting us. So I'm just like, okay, like. Even if I'm the best team in here, I'm probably not even going to win just because everyone is murdering me. So it's like, it's as you can see in my fleet events that I've been running, the 3v3s, it's a little different when you have multiple ships fighting you. It's not like you can just overcome everything. Right? So it's just like, I don't really know like where else to go. So like it sucks for the Arena community and sorry that, it's going away for you guys. So I'm not like, yeah, Arena's gone or no, they should keep it. Like, I'm just like, whatever. Like, I would have liked to play it if a lot of people played it, won, and there was no points. Like, that's where I'm at with that. So I guess that's that. But I guess we'll keep going. I'm sure there'll be a lot of heated discussion about it. Obviously, it's a heated point of contention. And obviously, too, like, the Arena people that are really sweaty, like you guys are pretty vocal too. So, it makes it sound like maybe it's a bigger thing than it is. I don't know. I'm not, you guys have been around for a long time, the Arena sweats. And you guys have a big influence too. You know what I'm saying? So like the Arena sweats have all their little crews and communities that are going to say stuff about it. So I get it. I mean, it's whatever. I really have nothing to offer beyond that, but I think that's pretty much where we are on that one. But they made the decision, and I guess we move forward. All right? I guess we move forward.
So following the events of A Pirate's Life, with that mysterious castaway coming to the Sea of Thieves world and opening a way to the Sea of the Damned, allowing pirates to adventure inside, this has been seen by all of their major characters in the Sea of Thieves world. And in many ways, this has started a magical arms race between the four.
Although I'm going to back up and say one more thing. I'm going to pump the brakes. I am going to pump the brakes for a second, talking about how much money does Arena make them. The Arena tournaments that were on like Twitch and stuff were pretty sick. We're disregarding all the points and stuff like that. I mean, that probably did well. I'm just saying, like, so from a content creator standpoint, if you have big events like that, I mean, there could have been something there, maybe. You know what I'm saying? There could have been something there, maybe, if they had pushed more competitive stuff, if it was more like BR oriented or like just straight skill based, not point oriented. Maybe. I can't say for sure. But like, the biggest, at least as far as like content creation went, when like Twitch Rivals happened or like the official tournaments happened, there were some sick numbers on Twitch. That's the biggest viewers I ever had. I think I had 11,000 for Twitch Rivals, which was nuts. And that probably did make Rare some money. So I don't know if they like weighed that at all. But that is something to think about. That is something to keep in mind. So that was pretty nuts. I kind of forgot about that. But that's kind of when Sea of Thieves was in its golden age, when they were pumping up those competitive tournaments. I don't know. Maybe they do want to think about it again. Maybe they need to like get some metrics for themselves on that and see like how the game was doing during those tourneys. I don't know, Rare. Maybe check that one out. I just thought about that spur of the moment. I literally didn't even think about that earlier today when I heard about Arena. Because there's nothing really like that now. Right? I don't know. Yeah, figure it out. Let's put it this way. At least from my standpoint, there's nothing in this game that's ever again going to get 11,000 viewers at a time. It's not going to happen. There's nothing they could do to do that. But like I said, they don't, they're not out to get Twitch viewers. They're out to do their company and make money, which is fine. But I don't know. That's just for me. That's just my point of view on it.
Forces of a renewed Captain Flameheart and the Pirate Lord himself. The nefarious forces that wish to do evil in the Sea of Thieves, they seek to control the Sea of the Damned, to destroy the veil between these two pirate worlds and to bring them together. So let's take a first look at the cinematic trailer for our first adventure, Shrouded Islands.
The Sea of Thieves is a wondrous place, where there are always new stories to tell.
Little Crab Lord.
But like the turning of the tide, all of that could change. I can feel it in my bones. Evil is stirring. The Sea of Thieves is once again under threat. Flameheart seeks to regain his power. We must do all that we can.
Isn't this the same place in the Jack Sparrow Tall Tale? Isn't this the same? Is this the same spot? Interesting. All right.
To weather this storm, only together can we protect what we all hold dear.
Are you done? Sit down, Ramsey. I'll handle
All right,
this.
new character. Little aggressive there. A little aggressive with that.
So our first adventure, Shrouded Islands, is coming to Sea of Thieves February 17th and is just the start of a bigger, grander story that we're introducing to Sea of Thieves as part of this. And to show you why we're so excited, we're going to take a close look now at our first adventure, Shrouded Islands.
So before I watch this, I'm kind of curious, like, I wonder how much they can do with Disney now. Like, I wonder if they're just giving them, like, a lot of leeway. Because didn't he just talk about, like, wasn't like the Dark Brethren or something trying to take over the Sea of the Damned or something?
So as you saw there in our cinematic trailer, Shrouded Islands centres on golden sands and this mysterious fog that has rolled in. Players will be able to explore and abandon golden sands, learning more about...
Wait. Is this why they made ships 5 per server? Because they dumpstered an island? Is that the true reason? They're like, oh, we're dumpstering golden sands. We can only have 5.
About what happened there.
So at this point in time, when the first adventure starts, we'll see that Flameheart has ominously retreated after all of this time in the Sea of Thieves. And at the same time, spectral activity is increasing. So one of the first things you'll see when you're taking part of these adventures is you're going to have Larinna speaking to you. You're going to have Larinna asking you to help out. And she is going to be sending you out to investigate Golden Sands, first of all. This is obviously the biggest threat on the Sea of Thieves right now. Golden Sands, the significant trading outpost, has been engulfed in this fog. Its inhabitants are missing. And Larinna is going to task you, first of all, to investigate.
If you're looking for adventure, I'll fill you in on all you need to know.
As an environment artist, it's great fun to go into an area and destroy it, basically.
The gas?
But it is one of the most kind of vibrant, well-loved
Oh,
islands
there's so much
in the
gas
game.
here.
So when you're doing it, you're sort of like, oh God, what am I doing to this place? But at the same time, it was kind of the perfect island to do it to because it was so perfect and well-loved. Everyone, that is the outpost.
What I really like about changing something that is pre-existing in the Sea of Thieves is that you can add history to an already existing area. When it comes to somewhere like Golden Sands, you can sort of play at the players' emotions because they love that area. I mean, I love that outpost. It's going to be a bit painful to see it in such a devastating state.
There's clear evidence that there's been a battle taking place, and it's quite obvious that the people, the inhabitants of the island, did not win that battle. They vacated the island, and this ghostly fog, the fog of the damned,
ghostly gas,
settled in over the island. Everything's very eerie, mysterious, and we really wanted to convey that kind of, that real mystery of what has happened here. This is not like a normal battle scene, and you can see that they've tried to defend themselves and it's not gone well.
One of the key points for me is the tavern sign outside the tavern is just fallen down and split in two. And I think that really symbolizes just the state that the outpost is in at this point.
For this first story and this adventure, I think the sort of tone and emotion we were trying to convey was foreboding. So for these sort of Shrouded Islands with the Fog of the Damned, we've used the fog music that we already have, but we've introduced these other elements with a day and night cycle to it as well. So we've sort of incorporated that into the music as well and used this theme that we've created for Adventure 1.
The adventure will take you across multiple other locations that are also engulfed in fog. And you will encounter phantoms, including a new phantom type that we're calling the Soul Flame Captain. He's a fearsome threat, and you will need to use the environment around you to take it on.
Oh, get stabbed, kid.
Chloe, if she'd be interested in writing some music for the Soul Flame Captains. And she was completely, as always, up to the challenge. She's used that first theme that we've been sort of framing the whole Adventure 1 in, but she's really cleverly sort of weaved it into her combat music. And it's a lot of complicated sort of time signatures, and even the chords that are sort of syncopated are calling out that theme. It's really nicely done. But it's got that pace and sort of urgency.
So Belle has been in the Sea of Thieves world and stories for some time, but this is her first appearance within the game. And she comes from the Sea of the Damned. And unlike many of our characters, she's been around for hundreds of years. She's seen so many things.
At least 100 hours? All right.
Within the spectral realm of the Sea of the Damned. And now she has taken this chance to help the Pirate Lord against this new threat from Captain Flameheart.
She has this necklace around her neck, which certain players might have noticed if you've got a keen eye, and that has a symbol on it which ties her into the Ferry of Damned. And she's appeared.
Chat, if you have a keen eye, you can see this right now. How keen are your eyes, chat?
Certain players might have noticed if you've got a keen eye, and that has a symbol on it which ties her into the Ferry of Damned. And she's appeared right now because there's a time of great need. The Pirate Lord is in desperate need of help, and she's come to save the day.
She knows so much more than she's letting on on what's going on in Sea of Thieves. So she doesn't have that kind of worldview that an ordinary pirate does. So it was almost like what I'm trying to convey with her theme was just sort of wondrous and quite majestic, I suppose, as well. And it's just this kind of as old as time theme I was trying to convey, I suppose, really.
Are you done? Sit down, Ramsey. I'll handle this.
And we're really excited to be able to start this long narrative that's going to be an epic tale for players to experience. There's going to be cinematic moments, there's going to be lots of lore and narrative to get involved with, and this is just the start, really, of what's going to be a really exciting year for Sea of Thieves. It's going to be a real game changer.
I think for me, the most exciting thing about Adventures is this opportunity to tell an ongoing story at a regular cadence. We can tell a story that will give you those emotional highs, give you those emotional lows, make you want to come back to find out where that story is going. It will make players feel at the heart of this progression of the world of Sea of Thieves. And also, players will be able to look back after the time, see the scars of these stories. They will continue to exist as well, and players will be able to remember their place in the history of Sea of Thieves, as well as wanting to know where it goes next.
Our plans for the immediate future are incredibly exciting, with new adventures, ongoing mysteries, and exciting new experiences coming to the Sea of Thieves world.
So as we look to the future of Sea of Thieves, we are all in on this new approach with the existing seasons, but then doubling down with the adventures and the mysteries, but also continuing to evolve the world and evolve the mechanics that are there, so new ways to progress and new tools. And we really believe that the future of Sea of Thieves over the next year and beyond is going to be incredibly exciting for us and for all of our players.
We hope you enjoyed this first look at what we have planned for Sea of Thieves in 2022. With adventures, mysteries, and seasons, the Sea of Thieves will feel more alive than ever and give you even more ways to play. And there's still plenty to share about what's coming throughout the rest of the year, but we'll save that for another time. Until then, keep a weather eye on the horizon, and I'll see you on the seas.
All right, so really quick, let's just talk about it for a second. So I get what they're trying to do right now, chat. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, we'll kind of break this down. These things seem cool. Obviously this game is almost 4 years old, right? This game is almost 4 years old, which in today's like gaming sphere is a long time. Like, there's not that many games that like survive that long. That makes, like, think about all these games that come out, like even AAA games that basically come out and are gone, right? So they've got a lot of data now. To me, they've got their people in the marketing and like the people that are doing their books, and they're seeing that these sort of tall tales, probably the Jack Sparrow stuff, probably makes them the most money, which I totally get from like a game developer standpoint. We kind of touched on it a little bit earlier too. There's only probably I mean, I don't know this for sure, chat, but there's not that many people that play hundreds, thousands of hours of this game every month. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that. Obviously, I play this game a lot because I stream it. You know what I'm saying? This, to me, seems like a good strategy from a business standpoint to get people coming back to your game, at least in small bursts, every month. And try to get them back into, like, the Emporium. You know what I'm saying? The story stuff is cool. I enjoy the story stuff, chat. Like, I enjoy the story stuff for what it is. When like, the Jack Sparrow stuff was sweet. I went in and did it. And it was really cool. Like, they put a lot of work into it. It was awesome. But I wasn't like, man, I can't wait to jump back on with the boys and do the Tall Tales again. But that's kind of the idea right now with these, like, adventure things, right? Because they're not really going to be super repeatable. But if they throw them at you in chunks, you'll do it. Right? People are like, dang, I do want to see what this story is. I do want to see what this story is. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to get people playing on a more regular cadence every month rather than, hey, here's the new season. I did it in an hour and a half and I'll see you in 3 months. You got to keep people's eyes coming back to the Emporium, chat. You got to keep people coming back. to that Emporium. How do you do it? Limited time content, right? I mean, you got to think of it as you got to think of it as a business, from a business standpoint, right? Like how, like from their bottom line, people that are going around just PvPing and adventure all the time. You know how, you know, are they making a ton of money off people like me, right? That are just sailing around, scheming. They're trying to get people in the game regularly. The story stuff might be sweet, chat. It might be awesome. I don't know. Maybe it'll be really cool. Is it going to be badass for people that just want to fight all the time? No. Probably not. So I don't know if there's like a direction shift. Trying to go more for like the regular, you know, the super casual players that just want to have like a little bit of an adventure. Not super sweaty. Like basically, in my opinion, every time anything sweaty has happened in this game, like it causes a problem for Rare somehow. Right? And they're probably just like, nope. Done with that. Done with it. Let's just get a narrative going. Let's get people into the game normally. Right? Let's just get people in there. Let's get them playing a little bit. We'll throw some cool story at them. Because I will, like I said, the graphics, the storytelling in this game is phenomenal. The music, all the stuff that they're doing there is what they do well. Does that make sense? They do well with that, chat. They do well with that. So like, and let's be honest, when I go out to like server events, when I go out to Skull Forts, Fort of the Dams, Fort of Fortunes, how often do you even see people there? A fourth of the time that you check? I mean, I'm just throwing numbers out there. So it's like, why add more PvP stuff in the game? Why even add that in if it's not making them money at this point? Like you're trying to get people, new people, right? One, you're trying to get people to revisit the game often to get their eyes in the sport. So again, I don't speak for Rare on that front, but I've been around gaming and streaming, and that's what I would say is happening, chat. So I would not anticipate any sort of more PvP-oriented Sweatlord content. I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't see it in the future of the game. They're going to just keep people casually interested for as long as they can and hope that they can keep this game going. Hopefully, chat, they've made enough money, which I'm sure they have, and continue to make enough money that they eventually maybe make Sea of Thieves 2. Right? So eventually they'll make Sea of Thieves 2 and kind of maybe make like a bigger, broader world. I don't know. So, yeah, we'll see what's going on with that, chat. Like I said, I don't speak for them. I can only speculate. But yeah, I don't know what that's going to mean, chat, as far as PvP content creation. I have no idea. Because the one thing about being like a PvP content creator is these people going and doing these tales. That's one less person out of my pool of 5 that's doing anything that I actually want to fight them over. So it kind of makes it tougher for me or any other content creator that likes fighting, right? You're like basically pulling people out of potential people doing Fort of the Dams, of people doing Skull Forts. So it's like, what do we do, chat? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I don't know, chat. We'll see what's going on. But overall, like I said, I've always tried to be at least a little bit optimistic with everything, even if I don't think it's the best idea at the time. I'm normally right in what I say, but I've been proven wrong a couple times with it. So, I can't say for sure, chat. So, we will, the new forts can bring more PvP? I don't think so. I don't think they will, to be honest. I don't think that those will bring more PvP. They're not like lit up. There's 6 of them. They're spread out. If there was one of those in like the middle of the map and people were doing it, I would agree with you. I don't think there's going to be more PvP there. It's almost like saying there was going to be PvP at the shrines. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the direction the game is heading. It's their game. Obviously, we'll see what goes on. Like, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to try to, I'm not going to try and doom and gloom it. I think whatever strategy they take, they have, I'm not going to be an armchair developer or game designer. I'm going to let them kind of figure that out. I'll play the game as long as it's interesting. I'll play the game, as long as you guys still keep coming and showing up to the stream. And at least try to make some good PvP content out of it anyways. And who knows, maybe something really cool will come out of it too. So you got to at least look at it with a positive attitude. And maybe we'll see what's going on with that. But yeah, here we go. We'll go with that. We'll go with that, chat. But yeah, thank you guys very much. Appreciate you watching the React video. And we will see what's going on here in the future.